What's going on, everybody? This is Lemon Drop 14E here. I'm gonna give you a quick walkthrough of like a sunset, I guess you'll call it, or silhouettes maybe, whatever you want to call it. First off, I've got a I think it's an '02 Cobalt SS. I'm not sure. Reason I picked this car is because you can see the sides of it pretty tall and they're pretty flat, and this is going to be more of like a picturesque sort of thing, I guess. Not really going to be like a racing design. Could be, I guess. I use it sometimes in races, but anyway, here we go. I've already got one of these made, and I'll show you what we're going to end up with somewhere through here. There's going to be a few different ones we're going to end up with. Here's the one that is supposed to be a farmhouse of sorts. Sunset going down in the back, and it fades into black around it. That's just like a general one for you right there. We're going to end up with something similar to that. On the other side, we're going to do something with like a wolf howling sort of a silhouette deal there. But anyway, okay, how we start this is put down your black background, new layer, and get your go ahead and go with the square and change it to like an orangey color. That's pretty orange looking. And we'll drape the bottom of the car with it. We're gonna just do not a lot on the bottom, but just a little bit. Get your faded half square here, span it around, and get it to 180. Can move it up a little bit, and size it way down, stretch her out, drop it down, and that looks pretty close to me. Now for the top half, we're gonna do this one here, which now, okay, if you weren't looking, gradient shapes, it's the one that is got the solid bar in the middle and it radiates to the left and right. And we're gonna take this and we're gonna get a dark blue color. Not quite that. Yeah, well, you know, I'll go with a lighter one just so it stands out a little bit easier on YouTube. Usually I would have went with the darker section, but just for the sake of, I'm not sure how it'll end up on the internet. So we're gonna stretch this out, and we're gonna drop it. You know what? We're gonna raise it. I lied. Raise it up, so now you've got your bright orange at the bottom, get your darkish blue on top, and we're going to take the gradient circle that's just a fuzzy orb, I guess, and we're going to get a real dark orange. We're just going to kind of stretch it out a little bit. And as you can see, it's not real tall and it's pretty wide. Reason for that is I don't really want to have a solid bar like we do at the bottom. This is more just almost like a cloud effect, I guess, because when we add the sun in there, it might look like the sun is reflecting off a cloud or something. It's just, I don't know, I put it in there and it just makes it look a little bit different, I think. Next thing we're going to do is going to put regular block, and we're going to make it black, drop it down. Don't quite cover all your orange, just a little bit of it there. And what this is going to be is like the ground or the surface or whatever is being reflected on, or how would that go? I guess whatever the sun is going behind, it's going to look black to the eye, but everything else behind it's going to illuminate. And then we're going to put down like a grassy texture, which is kind of tricky, but I usually either go with, okay, go to the tears section, and tears 20 is a pretty good one. Or sometimes if you're wanting a bigger surface, like you're more zoomed in, I'll go with Tear 11. But right now we're going to go with Tear 20. And we're going to obviously shrink that down a little bit. And I mean, if you don't want a perfect flat black bar down here, what you can do is just add some humps and bumps and imperfections to make it more landscape-like. But for the sake of this video and saving time, I'm not going to do that. It's a pretty simple thing. You just put the black, like, okay, fine, I'll give you an example. You talked me into it. We'll go with like this one here, and we're obviously going to zoom out just a wee bit, drop it down, and what we can do is just stretch this out, and just blump, and drop that one there, and there you have your uneven ground landmass, whatever you want to call it. And that's more of like a like we're gonna do on the other side with a wolf or something howling. That's more what we're gonna do. That looks almost like a rock formation behind it, or like you're looking at a rock formation and the sun's setting behind it. So, but we're gonna, not on this side. We're gonna take this away. I'm gonna go back to the tier 20, I think it was. Yeah, 20. Which honestly, it looks like it's supposed to be wheat or grass. I guess I'm gonna use it as grass, and we're gonna shrink it down. Zoom on in here. And honestly, you don't have to worry about lining up just end to end. You can just get it pretty close. And notice the way it turns, it looks like it's blowing in the wind. That's what you want, cool. If not, just skew it to the negative a little bit. Get it to stand up a little better. But since it is, kind of looks like it's blowing, I'll just go with it. And stamp it, and all I'm doing is just moving it over and stamping it every so often. And a little time saver is you get a good section of it, highlight it, copy and paste it, move the whole section over as a whole. The whole thing over as a whole, imagine that. And we'll stick it right there. And now you unhighlight all this stuff. Whoop. And there is, well, hello, Nate Dog. But there is your grass, your plains, I guess. And sometimes, if you don't like to see that hard bar at the bottom of black, highlight all your grass, copy it and paste it, and just drop it down a little bit. And you kind of lose that effect, but then again, it looks like it's more of a thick grass. If that's what you want, cool. If not, then just stick with a single layer. I think we'll go with the second one. So we're just going to drop it on down there, move it around a little bit, get it off-centered, and we'll go ahead and group up the grass. Boink. Alright. What will we do next? Okay, we will do it's going to be basically silhouette of a house or a barn. It's going to be a very, very simple one. Again, depending on what barn you're looking at, I guess it won't be perfect straight edges, but we're going to grab a box, drop it down, right about there, and then we're going to get I'm going to get pretty creative here and get a triangle. I know, blew your mind. It's okay. Shrink it down and whoop. Am I close? Am I close? I am close. And I like to leave the corners of the triangle overhung a little bit. That way it looks, I don't know, like the roof hanging over the edges. I don't judge me. So there's that. And one thing I've been told, and I suppose it makes sense, the scale isn't very close. Obviously, if you have grass that far up your house, you got an issue. I'm not really going to worry about that right now. That's just a small detail. What are we going to do next? Oh, I'm going to put a fence up. Right. Again, stick with the black box. Going to shrink it way on down there. Oh, maybe not that far. We'll leave it at 0.1. And spin it. Get it at 270 on the money. Bam! Drop it on down. Again, we're going to plunk it there, slide it over. We are going to spin it at whatever angle you want it to be. This one, it looks like it's at a, excuse me, it's at a 315.4. OCD's kicking in. 31550. Okay. Stamp it. And spin it. And I'm doing some basic math, and I think that's pretty close in my head right now. Copy that and paste it. Slide it on over. Hey, that looks pretty close. We're going to stamp that. You're going to highlight all four, group them, and obviously you can go wherever you want your fence to start and stop. I like to mold it up right to the house, and I will stamp it and move it and stamp it. And again, I'm just going to do the copy and paste technique here. We got a couple of them set up. Stamping it. Stamp it. A little bit time consuming and repetitive, but it looks pretty cool in the end. And obviously there's a blue million different kind of fences you can silhouette, but this is just a very basic one, I think. So that's the one I go with. And so there's that. On the right side, you could just you could leave it how it is right there, which honestly that's what I'm gonna do. Or you could keep your fence going on the other side. It really doesn't matter, I guess. I guess if you wanted to, you could put a barn or another house or silhouette of a car or a tractor, maybe. Do they have a preset for that? We're gonna look real quick, because if so, that's kind of cool. Racing icons. For some reason, I felt like they had a car. Oh, probably not. That's what I get for thinking. There is something in here that made me think that. I don't know. Anyway, you can make a silhouette of a car. There you go. But next up, we are going to do a sun. So the vinyl shapes, going over here to the gradients, and you're gonna grab this one here, which is gradient shape 27. Come on down. We're gonna make it a super bright orange, and not make it so huge. 25, 25. We're gonna take another one, except we're gonna use 28. Oh, and see right here, location is negative 34.5 and negative 24.5. So 24.5 and 34.5. Now if I go to 25 and 25, it ought to line up. If not, it's going to be picky and a pain, but it looks like we're going to line up pretty well. Oh, right there. Now color, I like to change it to a bright yellow. Honestly, I don't think any other color is going to look that good because it's the sun, so I don't think you could go with a blue or anything like that. Maybe an orangey pinkish, perhaps. Maybe a red. No, we're going with yellow. But yeah, dropping that there, and it's kind of a coin toss if you leave the yellow on top, or you can delete it and put it under the back of it. I like to put it behind the orange, or you could flip the colors and make the top yellow and the highlight orange if you wanted to. I don't think it looks that great, but if you're going to do that, I would suggest putting the orange over top. But we're going to stick with the highlight color being the yellow behind, and the actual sun itself being the bright orange. You're going to take this, and you're just going to set it, right there, except we're going to put it behind everything. So there is your sun setting. You know what? I'm going to move that up a little bit. And there is that. I guess if you wanted to, you could put it over the blue, make it pop out a little bit better, which I think that looks a lot better actually. So I'm gonna leave that there, and what we're gonna do to clean up the edges, go ahead and highlight everything. Obviously not your base, which is black in this case. Highlight it all, group her up. And we're gonna take a primitives, go with the hollowed out circle. I'm gonna grab it, make it a bright color you can see, so we're gonna go with white at this point. Stretch it out. Keep stretching. And make it a little bit taller. And we're not gonna stretch it that much. We're gonna, yeah, that looks good. Leave that there. Then we're gonna go another shape. Go to gradients. Go to gradient 29, which is the circle with the hard edges, and it gets fuzzy on the inside. Makes me feel a lot warm and fuzzy. I'm gonna stretch that out, and we're gonna line it up pretty close. Honestly, they're gonna be a dark color, so you're not gonna see them. But you want to get picky with it, go ahead. I'm not going to. Make that black. Make this a ridiculous dark blue. And yeah, you can still kind of see a hard edge of the blue. And to take care of that, you can just put like a black Actually, I'm going to make it white so I can see where I'm heading with it. Fuzz thing and drop it there. And whenever you can really see the hard edge, like behind the wheel well and in front of it, it's kind of a not so good spot for that. I'm going to drop those down, change it into black, so takes care of that hard edge there. But yeah, there is that. And now on the other side, didn't fill that one in. That's okay. I'm actually not going to walk you through this one in detail because for the sake of time, and it's really the same steps over and over again. But what we're going to do, oh me, oh my. Okay, see there's my templates I've made for the wolf howling. And this is the one we're going to go with. Wow, I don't know why that's so big. Let's scale that down a little bit. And I don't know if you can, that's going to pick up very well on YouTube, but what I've done here is I haven't put the black oval or dark blue oval around it yet, so that is something you can definitely go through and do. But what this is, I just put one of them random land masses in the way, and then put the grass on the hill, and obviously just put the silhouette of the wolf right in front of the sun going down. It's a pretty easy thing to do, and I know people are going to ask, how do you do the wolf silhouette? Honestly, well, I'll just show you. It'll be quicker than explaining it. I'm just going to grab this, go down to my saved groups, and sorry about that. That was my dad informing me supper is ready. But anyway, I'm going to go through here, and where is it at? Come on, don't be that guy. There it is. Boom. That's all it is that. I'll ungroup it so you can see the shapes I've used. It's pretty easy shapes, honestly. Just piecing together everything. I've added some just random elbows and sharp edges, and basically just to give it an imperfection. There, 91 and 92 is the same effect we use on the grass to kind of give it a fur look. And honestly, when it's this big, you're thinking, well, it's not very detailed. Well, that's okay, because when we drop it down to this big, you don't really see the detail that much anyway. So that about wraps up this episode. Oh, almost forgot, and you guys would have been upset. We're going to group all this up, and we're going to make some stars. And to do that, we're going to go to gradients. We're to here, cool. Now we grab 22. It's a triangle with a base. It's really dense and it fades up into the point. I'm gonna grab that, make it white. Really make it thin. Go with 0.5, and we're gonna go to make it 0.3 actually, and stay with 30. We're gonna paste it, spin her around, and whoop, 180. Drag it over. What you're going to end up with is this sort of effect, which is like a diamondy sort of thing, which is what we want. And then after we do that, we're going to size it down, spin it to straight up and down, and we're actually not going to keep it that big. Size it down to probably 50 or 55. 50 looks good. Stamp it, spin it just a wee bit, size it back down to 65. Spin it again after you stamp it, and then spin it one final time right in the middle, and that is going to be our star. We're going to group them up, and obviously we're just going to size them out a little bit, and we're just going to randomly place them up here throughout the spots, or throughout the sky. Obviously we're going to copy and paste them, and we're going to drag them up and drop them again and drop them here and there, swing them back around, and like right, bam, that looks good. Let's see, obviously I've got a little cluster here that is a little close, but like I said, I'm just kind of flying through this to get save some time on YouTube so it doesn't take 700 hours to upload. Oh, and then on the top, something you can do with like the hood or the roof, This one's actually got that sunroof? Yeah, it's got a sunroof. So what I'm going to do on the hood, load a layer group. This is one that I haven't made. Well, it says it's created by me, but it's not. A friend of mine actually created this, and I asked him if I could take that moon out of the one he gave me, and he said, yeah, go for it. And so I'm going to use his moon, and I'm just going to drop it there. And you kind of get the moon up, so you kind of get the whole space effect. And obviously, you would dress stars onto the top of the car. And that's about it. Oh, had a friend actually. I have a friend, right? No, say, can you do a tutorial on like to make a house, like just a house? So he likes to do like scenery stuff on the side of cars. And short answer, no. I'm not that great at the real. I don't know if you want to call it live action, real life ish stuff. But I actually have a friend who is. I'll show you some of the stuff he's done, and it's actually really good. Here's one of them that he has made. Oh, not enough layers. Okay, well, you guys have seen this. All well and good. Delete. I'm going over here. I'm gonna find where he put that stuff at. Why? Where he put it at, where I put it at. Here's one of them. And obviously, and just look. Obviously, you got a frame around it, and you got there's the moon that I used, and he's got a little lake house and a cabin and trees and all that. And he's I think he's still got a few of those on his storefront, but the name is, well, I'll let you look. I don't know if there's a space or not. Yeah, metal dash, not dash, but space, metal space storms. And I'm not sure if he still has those on his storefront. Oh, but see, he also did these, the mountainside. He's pretty good with the real life looking stuff. So, yeah, that's going to wrap it up for this episode. Sorry it was kind of spaced out and not real direct to what we're doing. But just had to get that stuff out of the way. Next episode, I think, is going to be like Ghost Flames, perhaps. I had a request to do that by a gentleman on YouTube. Yeah, I will get that out to you as soon as I can. Thanks for watching. Bye.